Hello, everyone. I'm James Milan, and welcome to this town hall update. I am speaking with our town manager, Adam Chapdelaine. Hello, Adam.
Hey James, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. Happy holidays to you.
Same to you.
All right, we've always got plenty to talk about with you, so let's get right to it. Since we last spoke, a couple of things we'll talk about later in the update. Since we last spoke, Public Works has released a tree planting update, and the town also launched its first ARPA-funded initiative. That's good news, right?
Yes.
Which will be the Arlington Small Business and Nonprofit Working Capital Fund. So we'll talk about those in a couple of minutes. But first, um, as ever, it's going to be COVID-19, and obviously the Omicron variant and other recent news has people very interested to hear about the town's status and also the vaccination efforts going on. So, can you start with giving us an update there, please?
Absolutely. I can't help but feel like maybe we jinxed the entire pandemic by changing the title of this COVID-19 update to a town hall update. But
Man, it really felt like the right move at the time,
it
right?
did. It did. It felt therapeutic, or it felt good to make the move. But
Mhm.
I think, as everybody watching knows, the pandemic has once again taken a turn. It's quite different than it was a year ago, but in some ways no less dire based on the trajectory of both the Delta variant and now this Omicron variant. We see locally case counts on the rise, same regionally. When we look at the MWRA sewer data that tests for the presence of COVID in the sewage, it's at the highest levels that it's actually been for the entirety of the pandemic. So the virus is out there. And though many of us are, the vast majority of us are protected by vaccines, it's still spreading and still can pose a danger to all of us, and especially those that are unvaccinated. Um, that said, I will say that we continue through our Department of Health and Human Services in cooperation with other town departments and the school department, do our best to get vaccines and resources out there. So this week we started a round of homebound booster clinics to be able to get booster shots to those who are homebound and unable to get out to vaccination clinics. Over the course of the past several weeks, we've now delivered 3,459 doses to those ages 5 to 11 in the community. Continue to just really be a leader in the state in getting those out in rapid fashion. And we've delivered over the course of the past few weeks 1,535, so just over 1,500 booster doses to those 18 plus coming into vaccine clinics that have predominantly been held here in Town Hall. So we're doing the best we can to get those doses out there. I know that work will continue, and as things are scheduled, they'll be publicized. So we are now entering this holiday period where we want people to get vaccinated, we want them to get boosted, and then we want them to be as safe as possible during the holidays to try to reduce the spread and keep everyone as healthy as possible.
I was talking to our state senator Cindy Friedman, excuse me, who recently, and she wanted to make a real shout out to the Arlington community and especially to Christine Bongiorno and the others at the Board of Health for how effective, how broad and expansive our vaccination efforts have been, and therefore how large a percentage of our local population is in fact vaccinated, and even many have received boosters as well. So just another voice, informed voice added, of course, to the chorus of folks saying, yeah, we're doing pretty well here in Arlington. But of course, as you've just very well described, the danger is far from over.
Correct. Correct.
Lamentably. Okay, well, anyway, on the economic recovery side, let's talk about something a little bit brighter. On the economic recovery side of things associated with the pandemic, the town has begun certain programs that are going to be associated with that $35 million of funding from the American Recovery Plan Act, or ARPA, that you have been spending so much of your time and energy on over the last months. So one of those programs just launching in, I guess it was late last month, is the Arlington Small Business and Nonprofit Working Capital Fund. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. So You did a very good job teeing it up. This is one of the programs that we brought forth for both the public's consideration and the select board's endorsement, and is directly enabled by the ARPA funding and the ARPA regulations. And the goal here is to get money into the hands of small businesses and nonprofits that have been impacted very negatively by the pandemic. So the application for those entities is available on the town's website now. It'll be open till January 7th. And we're really hoping anybody who feels like they're eligible or in need who fits into these categories will apply. We've got significant resources dedicated to it. And we're really hoping we can get that money in the hands of those who need it as fast as possible to try to keep our business community as stable as possible.
Great. You and I often speak about Arlington's kind of leading role in the vanguard of being of green communities, of the environmental kind of stewardship and responsibility movement. While nothing represents that in a sense, literally as well as figuratively, more than trees. Trees are such an important town asset, and there are a lot of residents who care very deeply about them. So therefore, really nice to read fairly recently an update from Public Works that there is a tree management plan and a significant effort to build back Arlington's tree canopy to 1980 levels. So can you tell us about the plan and this goal to replenish the town's tree canopy?
Absolutely. So I think, as many in town know, we're very fortunate to have an incredibly dedicated and hardworking tree committee made up of resident volunteers that partner with the Department of Public Works, in which we're also very lucky to have an incredibly knowledgeable, dedicated, and hardworking tree warden, Tim LaQueve. And they've worked on many tree matters, but particularly this tree management plan. And one of the aspects of that is calling for us planting on a year-over-year basis more trees than we have to remove. So there's always some number of trees, street trees in particular, that need to be removed based on their age or their health. And that's sort of a rolling stock where there's trees that are removed. We want to make sure we're staying ahead of that curve. So on an annual basis, we try to make sure we're planting more than we're taking down. And even though during the pandemic year, the bulk of the pandemic year of the last year, our planting numbers went down, this year that we were able to plant 429 trees. So our goal is to plant 300 a year. We weren't able to do it last year, but we've caught back up with some incredible efforts by the DPW and the tree division to get 429 trees in the ground. And when you look at it over the course of the past 3 years, we've actually got a net gain in Arlington's tree canopy of 457 trees. So the committee's done a great job. The tree warden's done a great job, and DPW's tree division putting these trees in the ground has done a great job. And a big storm can change these numbers, if I'm being honest. But I think we've committed to expanding our canopy, replacing our canopy, and replenishing it. And this year has demonstrated us meeting that commitment and putting more on the ground that have been removed, and hopefully setting up future generations of Arlingtonians for a beautiful, healthy, sustained tree canopy.
And I just want to add, I'm glad that you kind of mentioned the fact that there is the danger of that a major storm would pose to those numbers and to the effort, because of course we are always hearing, as we have recently, about drastic weather and natural disaster events occurring in other parts of the country. We are generally well insulated here in the Northeast, a fact that we often celebrate. But of course, we are as vulnerable to major storms as anywhere else, and that's a real and ongoing danger. So thanks for just reminding us of that sobering but important fact.
Yeah.
Anything that we should or that you'd like to add?
Yeah, I'd love to give a shout out to the water division of the Department of Public Works. Over the course of the past couple of weeks, there's been a series of 4 pretty significant water main breaks, and they've been out there. They respond immediately, and this is hard work that they do, and it can be at completely off hours. It can be at the end of the workday, or frankly, it can happen at 1 a.m. in the morning, and they're there fixing that water main break until it's done. So often it's cold, It's guaranteed to be wet. They're in the ground and they're working hard to get that job done. So I just wanted to publicly give them a shout out and thanks for, work that can go unseen sometimes, but work that's so critical to maintaining our infrastructure, our quality of life, and just the way of life of living in a community like Arlington.
Here, here. All right, and I guess that will wrap this up for today, and in fact for this year of 2021. Our next update, given that we are going into the meat, so to speak, of the holiday season now, our next update will be on January 6th, and of course we look forward to speaking to you in the new year. But between now and then, we wish you happy holidays and some well-deserved rest in there.
Thank you, and happy holidays to you, Jared, the whole team at ACMi, and to the whole Arlington community. Thank you.
And thank you. I have been speaking with our town manager, Adam Chapdelaine. This has been Town Hall Update, the last of the year of 2021. Thanks for joining us for it. We appreciate Adam's time, and we appreciate yours as well. So thanks again. I'm James Milan. We'll see you next year.